Welcome to Faith and Freedom. For the next few minutes, we hope to inform, inspire, and encourage you as we discuss the legal victories and challenges to your fundamental freedoms and religious liberties. Faith and Freedom comes to you from Liberty Counsel, a civil liberties education and legal defense organization. Join us now as Matt Staver, the President and General Counsel of Liberty Counsel, explains the latest legal issues all across this country. In the courtrooms of America, Liberty Counsel is winning the battle for your constitutional freedoms.
Liberty Counsel defends Dakota Ary, who was given an in-school suspension for his comments on homosexuality. Hi, I'm Matt Staver, founder and chairman of Liberty Counsel. Joining me is Matt Barber, the vice president of Liberty Counsel Action. Matt, this is a case in Fort Worth, Texas, where Dakota Ary is in high school, and he is in a German class, and the German teacher speaks about homosexuality in Germany. And Dakota just simply turns to one of his classmates and says that based on his religious beliefs, he thinks that homosexuality is wrong. The teacher overhears him and gives him an in-school suspension, saying that it is bullying to actually say these words. And Liberty Counsel now has obviously intervened and reversed much of the situation.
Yeah, ironic, isn't it, that the bully himself, the teacher here who sent Dakota to the principal with and requested a 3-day suspension, the principal actually suspended Ary until Liberty Counsel got involved, that this teacher had the audacity to claim that Ary's statement that he's a Christian and therefore believes, as Scripture is very clear, that homosexual behavior is wrong, is sinful. This bully, this teacher, then sends him, punishes him for stating what every major world religion and thousands of years of history have held to be true, that homosexual behavior, among a litany of sexual behaviors, happens to be sexual sin. So here we have the really turning logic and reason on its head that we see, and allegedly I've read a number of homosexual activist websites that are claiming that this man, Franks, I believe is his name, this teacher, is himself a self-identified homosexual. So he is pushing this agenda in the classroom, has posted pictures of men kissing on the board. On the world
wall, before this event, he actually posted a picture of two men kissing on this world wall and told the students that homosexuality is becoming more prevalent in the world and that they just need to accept it. This was before this situation arose in the German class, and apparently what happened in the German class is the topic of religious beliefs in Germany came up, and during the discussion one student asked what Germans thought about homosexuality in relation to religion, and another student wanted to have certain things translated into German. And that's when Dakota simply turned to a friend, his classmate, and said that he felt that it was wrong based on his religious beliefs. And then the teacher said that this is possible bullying and that this kind of statement should never be said in the public school. He gave him an in-school suspension, which was 4 hours, and he wanted to do it for an extended period of time. Liberty Counsel immediately got involved, wrote a demand letter to the school officials, and then one of our attorneys, Matt Krause, who's right there in the Dallas area, met with school officials and demanded that this be reversed and that any kind of academic dismissal or violation or suspension or wrongdoing be removed from this student's file. Now, in the meantime, they placed this teacher, Mr. Franks, on administrative leave pending an investigation. They have since now allowed him to return to the classroom, giving him the option of either returning to teach at the same school or even transferring him to another school. So that's the situation as it stands right now. But what was happening, as you're saying, is that the teacher was actually bullying students, forcing them to accept his own view on homosexuality as opposed to just simply sticking with the subject matter of German. And instead, he was the bullying person on this case, not Dakota Ary.
Well, of course he was. And that's, the homosexual activist groups like GLSEN, the Gay, Lesbian, Straight Education Network, have been pushing as a Trojan horse this bullying, anti-bullying agenda into public schools around the country, basically saying any verbal representation of the Judeo-Christian view of sexual behavior as it relates to homosexuality is in itself bullying. It's really a covert attempt to silence any opposition to the homosexual lifestyle. And Christopher Franks here has grossly violated, in the school district's First Amendment, grossly violated Dakota Ary's First Amendment rights here. Matt Krause, our Liberty Counsel attorney there in Dallas, has done a wonderful job with this case. He went in and educated the school district. Let's hope now that they have suspended Mr. Franks, that they took that opportunity to educate him, and that when he goes back into the classroom now, he will cease and desist in his bullying activity.
That's what I think the ultimate hope is here, is that because of the fact that he was called to the carpet, this thing took on a national media attention, and he was administratively removed from the classroom with pay. He was removed and placed on administrative leave, taken out of the classroom for nearly a week. That message will ultimately be loud and clear, that he can't do this again. Now, the school has come up with their preliminary investigation. They have found that Dakota Ary violated no policy of the school. They also said that there was no violation of any First Amendment rights here. This question wasn't so much a First Amendment rights issue as it was the fact that this was just inappropriate for the school, whether it's First Amendment or not, to punish someone. And clearly it was First Amendment-related issues, because he is speaking to a fellow student. He's not speaking out loud in class. It just so happens that the teacher overheard what he said to a fellow student. And for him to be even punished even for the short period of time, even though Mr. Franks wanted to do it for a longer period of time, that was wrong. And, of course, right now the school has reversed its position. They took away the in-school suspension. That has been removed from anything in the file. But we want to make sure that this never happens again to Dakota or any other student in that school under the teaching of Mr. Franks or any other teacher.
Well, and you have to wonder, if this teacher happened, or Dakota's mother happened to know about Liberty Counsel, contacted Liberty Counsel, and we were able to get involved and take care of this matter. But you have to wonder, this is just one example. How many times does this happen across the nation that it goes unnoticed or unchallenged? So hopefully this case will be used publicly, and as you mentioned, it garnered a great deal of national attention. Hopefully school districts across the country will see that pro-homosexual teachers and students do not have a right to bully students with traditional values relative to sexual morality.
I think that's the bigger picture here. It's not just Mr. Franks, not just this school district in Texas, but other around the country as well, that they cannot just simply use their classroom as a bully pulpit to indoctrinate homosexuality and intimidate the students. And that's, in fact, what Mr. Franks was doing. There's no reason for him in German class to stick on a wall two men kissing and say that homosexuality is becoming more acceptable and you just need to get used to it. That has nothing to do with class. That's completely inappropriate. What he did was absolutely wrong. It's uncalled for. That was bullying. And no teacher ought to use their classroom like that. And so, again, like you're saying, this may go on a lot of other times in other situations, and students just don't push back because they don't know that there's a resource there. Fortunately, Liberty Counsel was able to come to the forefront right at the very early onset of this and put a stop to it immediately.
Well, this is an adult man picking on a 14-year-old kid. It doesn't get much lower than that. And yet I've read a number of accounts now that have turned this on its head and are trying to portray this teacher as somehow the victim of this 14-year-old kid.
Well, you know, the sad thing is when you read some of these blogs that are written by those that are promoting the homosexual lifestyle, you can see how they dehumanize individuals. I mean, they come after Dakota as though he's a know-nothing. He's not going to amount to anything good. That's just reprehensible. Yeah. And for those people to say that they're tolerant and that anybody who believes in natural marriage and morality is intolerant, all you have to do is go read the blogs to find out that this is a complete lie. Yeah. And that kind of language, that kind of hate, that kind of hostility has no place in our discourse. And you may disagree on some of these issues, and these are profound issues that go to the very core of who we are as Americans and as believers. But don't dehumanize people, and that's exactly what they tried to do to Dakota. We're not going to allow that to happen, and we're going to stand up for Dakota and other people like him all over the country.
Well, the reality is that those on the left, those who claim to be the arbiters of all that is hate and tolerance and diversity, we see over and over again when the rubber meets the road, they end up being the most hateful, most intolerant among us. And here, this is just yet another example of where those who are representative of the majority of Americans who hold traditional values, they are pushed to the fringes, and they try to marginalize them as bigots, homophobes, haters, and so forth.
Well, in my recent article that it was coming out for the November Liberator, I hope you read it because it's about these kinds of issues. And you can get the Liberator by going to lc.org, and you can sign up for the Liberator free of charge right there on the web. lc.org. You can also get the Liberty Alert email, which is an educational email, and the Grass Fire Action Alert right there on the center middle of the page. Sign up for that as well because that's our activism email. You can also contribute right online at Liberty Counsel's website. That's lc.org. You can also text us at 20222, in the subject line put down LC. That will be a contribution of $10. And also I encourage you to order this book, Sexual Sabotage by Dr. Judith Reisman. You can order that by calling Liberty Counsel at 800-671-1776 or go to the website and order Sexual Sabotage by Judith Reisman, lc.org. Do that today.
You have been listening to Matt Staver of Liberty Counsel. Our hope is to encourage and inspire you to stand up for your faith, family, and freedoms. We can accomplish a lot when we work together. Get informed and get involved today. Sign up for our free monthly newsletter, The Liberator. We will send it out to you free of charge. Stay informed with our Liberty Alert email update. Just click on the website at www.lc.org or call us at 1-800-671-1776. Tune in next time to learn more about your rights right here on Faith and Freedom.